So now that you understand what the backbone of our recommendations were and you've heard our recommendations, we actually have a few implementation guidelines. So as they go through all those 11 steps, we highly encourage them to start with just articulating the vision and building a powerful coalition. So if you've read Kotter's book, which I'm sure you have in the leadership program, he talks about the need to get other people on board with a vision for change. And so we believe that in order for our recommendations to actually work, we need to get senior leadership on board, and we need different people of influence to build a coalition so that as people try to change the culture and help people step up and lead and make mistakes and try new things, and we try to do all these things, when people fail and when different things happen, there's obviously going to be people who are opposed to this. So step one is we need to have an influential group of people who all support this idea. And so step two is we need to remove obstacles. So some obstacles are just, lack of communication, different job descriptions that are out of date. It could be people, it could be other things, right? So if it's like a negative person, we need to sit down and talk with those people quickly, right? So step two is just removing obstacles. And that could happen at any of those 11 implementations that we've recommended. And then the third step that we hope will be used as you go through our 8 recommendations is that you create short-term goals. So a lot of things we have are, like creating new programs. When those are successful, we are hoping that the leaders can recognize that and acknowledge people like, hey, you did a good job. You stepped up, like there was no guideline before, and you just created like a new ministry, a new job, a new responsibility for people in the future. Like, can you teach us what you did well? And just, constantly like reaffirming people and encourage them to like take risks and try their best. So short-term wins need to be pointed out, and short-term goals need to be encouraged. So those are kind of the 3 things. And then basically we believe that senior leadership should provide high levels of support for independent efforts. So when people take initiative, when they take ownership and they do things, and they try to attain a goal, encourage them and support them and give them a lot of support in that. Allow them to do it themselves, but support them when it's needed, right? And if we do that, there's going to be just a development of self-confidence, of self-worth, and people will start to, learn like what their identity is. Like even if they fail, they're still learning about their identity. They're learning what they're bad at, and that's okay. And maybe they can work on that weakness, or maybe they can try something else and build on their strengths, right? So those are our guidelines. So as we allow there to be more meetings with the pastors, and we're encouraging different things, documentation, whatever, and all of that, we just want there to be an articulation of the vision, and we want people to build their sense of personal identity.